Jackson State Farm. I just beat my gun into y'all. So I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanzas movie. Hey, you can keep celebrating. Let's see the total price just for you. Yeah, put a dollar with the State Farm personal price line. Go bananas. I will. Hey, make it easier.
Tried to say, no, that's not a gun.
What are you mad?
That's a lighter.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a lighter like that? That's all it is. It's a lighter.
Oh, what do you think is a war on Christmas?
There's a war on Christianity, so I put a butt plug in the middle of town square.
You know who loves Christmas, by the way? China. China. When I was there, it was Christmas.
A lot of stuff.
They took off with Christmas in China. They love it.
Sure, it's a good time to sell things. It's great
they get it.
It's great. Otherwise, like, you are not going to spend above your means. We need a few holidays to spend above your means. It's important. Put you in credit card debt.
It keeps the magic going.
Yes.
See, our economy is not even a pyramid. It's Wile E. Coyote before he looks down, basically. So, as long as we can keep you from looking down, let's
imagine AI becomes sentient and it looks at the society and says, "Listen, I'm not going to kill you all, but you got to change the way you guys run things. You can't run things anymore. What you've done with money and natural resources, all the stuff that you've done has just made the world a worse place, and you're just running towards the bottom.
So it's going to punish the leaders.
Yeah, what it'll basically
no more
do
private
is
jets.
Like even out everything. Like it'll probably have to eliminate property.
Again, who's programming the now?
It's probably going to assign us a certain amount of things that we can have in our life, and no one can get greedy. And no one can earn more, so there's no reason to get
And who's making this? You think the person making...
No, AI is going to do it for itself.
Okay, you know what... Yeah, I know the problems. Do you know what a golem is? A golem?
Yes.
Okay.
Made out of clay, right?
Yeah, like a dreidel, but it's a Frankenstein monster made of mud. And there's a story of this guy Esoterica, or his channel's good. It's very academic. He's not like conspiracy or anything. He just studies the stuff. But the theme of it is like one rabbi makes a golem and he puts Tav, I can't remember the letters, the name of God on his head, so it's alive, and sends it to another rabbi. And that rabbi, I'm really paraphrasing, but he's like, oh, this golem's a good guy. That must have been a righteous rabbi who made this golem. And then he erases it and it's not alive anymore. And there's more to it, but here's the theme of the story. If you're a righteous person and you do that, the thing of putting a wife, then your creation will be righteous, okay? But if you're not, like let's say you pour hate and fear and anger into it, right?
Right.
Or whatever the hell you do, it's going to be a reflection of that. So this AI God, I don't think is being programmed by anyone, by God. It's being programmed by creeps, weird, uncanny valley looking, mutated dick motherfuckers with variation on Epstein dick. You want to believe in aliens? I want every tech billionaire whip their dick out, and I want to look at what the fuck their dick looks like, because I'm a dick phrenologist. You know phrenology? I don't think it works, but I'll bet on somebody's dick.
What is phrenology? Isn't that like
the
kidney
bumps in
disease?
your skull determine your behavior. So
is that pH phrenology? Is that what it is?
Phrenology with pH. Yeah, and I want to, and I think all
phrenology, pH phrenology.
When you get your security clearance, they should really analyze, and I'll be glad they should analyze to see if your dick is weird. I feel like you're going to be weird.
You know what's weird about the whole phrenology thing is like we're the smarter ones, right? But the Neanderthals had a bigger brain. So what the fuck happened?
Well, when you told me that, I thought you were exaggerating your Neanderthal DNA. and then when you showed me your hand, because you have the same size hands as me, right?
Yeah, they're pretty sick. They're basically the same size.
I'm 6'4".
The freaky thing is the fist size. My fists are crazy.
It's just nuts.
Bizarre. But they were when I was like 15, 16 years old.
I believe you're a Neanderthal.
Fists.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's more, like, people that live in, like, Nordic countries and Danish countries, like, the Northern Europeans, there's a lot of Neanderthal DNA out there.
Oh.
People started fucking each other, and then I guess it was probably, I wonder if it was, like, Neanderthal males and human females, or human females, or human males and Neanderthal females. I wonder, like, which one made, because, like, there's certain hybrids that can't breed, you know, and then there's certain ones that can.
Right.
So I wonder how close we were to them, where we could breed.
You have to be very close to breed.
How do they do that?
And not have a mule?
Right. Exactly. Mule. It's
I
a
don't think
perfect
planned.
example. They're
probably,
sterile.
Yeah.
They can't make more mules. You have to make a mule with a horse and a donkey.
Now, I thought Neanderthals died out because they spoke out against an experimental gene therapy posing as vaccine, and they were destroyed by Cro-Magnon corporations.
I wonder if we're like the upgraded, we're the iPhone 16 of people. You know, like they probably had a bunch of other ones before.
That's all. That's in a cult shit. The fifth root race and all that bullshit from Madame Blavatsky.
Well, imagine if you're creating a human and you have a bunch of different versions of it. If you're the Anunnaki, you're these 9-foot-tall gods from planet Nibiru, and you come down here, you try 6%. You try 6% with the Neanderthals, and then maybe you try 7% with the Homo sapiens. And we see what's the difference.
Well, the lore.
Let's see how it works out.
I'll tell you the lore, as I understand it, is they did all that and all kinds of wild, gross shit.
Right, but just think about the timeline of Neanderthals. So Neanderthals existed unchanged for half a fucking billion years, right? Or 500,000 years. It was like 500,000 years of Neanderthals existing.
Right, and then in a very short burst, all of a sudden, the brain. Right. I've heard cooking food. There's a lot of ideas of
why.
No.
It's not because but Neanderthals had bigger brains, so it doesn't make any sense. So it's even weirder, right?
Dude, Beta's better than VHS, but guess who fucking won?
Yeah, but imagine if you're Nibiru people, you're these aliens, and you're like, these motherfuckers aren't learning shit. They're too animalistic.
Right.
They're too they had much larger eyes. There's some people speculate they had night vision like a dog does. You know how dogs' eyes glow when they see headlights?
Is that the guy that says that the Neanderthals were scary beasts and we killed them?
No, that's another one. That's
because they could see in the dark and we couldn't.
But they think that's probably true. I think they think that based on the size of their eyeballs. Like, have you ever seen the size of Neanderthal skulls compared to humans? The eyeball socket is fucking huge. You know, so their eyeballs were bigger, and so why would that be the case? Well, it might be like the case with dogs and deer and all these other animals.
I think that eyeball, and I have zero expertise, but because the size of the brain doesn't necessarily mean you're smart. It's like how deep and wrinkly, which is how I know to me that indicates some kind of intelligence thing. Because they were very intelligent. They used tools, so we know all this. But the thing is, there's physical intelligence that they had that's probably way superior to ours. Meaning, like, they're way stronger. Their bones are way denser, and their tendon strength must have been like multiple times what a normal human man is at that size. Right. So you're dealing with a physically superior thing that was too primal. So they had to introduce another version, which is slightly less primal, but still kind of fucked up. And that's the one that figured out how to make everything. That's the one that figured out how to do metallurgy. That's the one that figured out industrial enterprise and the combustion engine and you hear what you're saying? Those are
yeah.
jobs. So here's what I would say. Since human nature is programmability, what they were aiming for
is something curious.
But I don't want, like, you can even see now.
Curious and ambitious makes new alien life. That's all it takes. Right. Curiosity and ambition, and that's what two things that human beings
you might
have
to stunt it sometimes in people. By dumping shit on. Dude,
it's too late now.
Chemtrails, a goofy thing that I thought was absolutely made up. Those are just contrails. No, that's called geoengineering. That's real.
Listen, it's both. This is what's important when it comes to this one. There's a real reality of jet engines getting hot, passing through condensation, making clouds. That's fact.
Yes.
Regular jets, like a Delta Airlines, it's filled with people that's not trying to be spraying chemtrails, will make clouds behind it, and depending upon the amount of moisture in the air, it'll linger for a long time. These streaks across the sky.
That's what I thought it all was, but it's not.
It's not. And this is how you know it's not, because Bill Gates has openly talked about experiments where they use reflective particles and suspend them in the atmosphere to cool off the Earth.
We have a treaty.
But also, that's a crazy fucking idea.
Wait, I told you we have a treaty for weather weapons that was signed in the 70s to agree not to use weather weapons.
Oh, yeah, but we've been able to cloud seed forever.
Right.
Making it rain, how weather manipulation and geoengineering are fueling global tensions. Well, listen, we talked about it the other day, what they did in Dubai. They fucked up. And they
didn't want people filming it.
Well, it was crazy flooding they had, because they're not set up for that kind of rainfall. They're in the fucking desert.
They're like some out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the crazy prince makes a chocolate palace. It's like that. Dubai has all the money in the world. Because I have friends that are from Dubai, and like, I found out my buddy, she's the coolest chick, I like her, but they're so rich that to distinguish yourself from other people, you have to have the lowest license plate number.
Right. Yeah, you want number one.
Because everybody has all the other crap. So how do you even distinguish?
That's Saudi Arabia as well. They do Saudi summers in LA. Have you ever been around for that?
No.
So in Saudi Arabia, summer is so hot that LA summer seems like a bargain.
Yeah.
So these guys, they all buy these beautiful houses in Beverly Hills, and they all drive these crazy Lamborghinis with Saudi plates.
Right.
So they have like some sort of a diplomatic community.
You can really drive them.
So there's videos of these guys in Beverly Hills before the pandemic racing down local streets, like having drag races in Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Have you seen it?
No.
And one of them fucked his car up. His car's like smoking. He pulls it into the driveway. Everyone's filming. All the neighbors are filming. And then the guy just gets on a plane and gets out of the country. See ya!
Yeah, a whole bunch of
just
Hunter
jets
Bidens.
before they get caught.
It's
and
like,
they have like some weird diplomatic immunity too.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're doing it.
Diplomatic immunity is a trip. Like that's a crazy thing. Like you could just come to the country, just go wild, run stoplights, race down the street in a
Have
Ferrari.
a slave?
You could have a slave, really?
Dude, when I was in New York, this happened like 2 or 3, at least 2 times. But it was always like an Indian diplomat, and they had some Bangladeshi girl that they took her passport. And I remember it was a big controversy because this has to be like almost 20 years ago.
I'm going to send you something, Jamie.
But anyway, there was a bunch of Indian newspapers at the time, 20 years, that were outraged that this woman was even arrested because that diplomatic. Because I don't know if you know, people that come from a lot of money, they think they should have slaves. They genuinely, when they learn Aristotelian philosophy, learn that some people are the controllers and some people are the peasants. And it's for the best. And did you hear that guy at the beginning, Braddock, where he goes, the few have to be sacrificed for the many?
Yeah.
That cokehead, allegedly, in my mind, is saying...
Could have just been nervous.
But the way he said that to me sounds like things I would recite from being in church that are drummed in my head.
That's why it was so important that you said that before the pandemic. Like, I see it. I see the same fucking shit. I see the same shit.
So I've already been like, my mother, I still talk. Some people leave and their Scientology cut off. But that wasn't the case with me. Everybody does how they're gonna do. But I already went through the thing of like, this is the only thing I've ever known that to be true, and then if I turn my back, then I'm losing like all. So I've done that.
Right.
So I don't give a fuck about it ever again.
Right.
I don't care if everybody's mad at me. I don't care if somebody if somebody coaches Coleman Hughes to come on and refute a thing I said. Who I like that guy, but like I would never do that. I would never, dude. If I'm wrong, you could be sure I'm wrong because I'm wrong and not because I got paid to be wrong.
100%. I back you on that 100%. I got to take a piss so bad.
I know,
so
me too.
let's do it. We'll come right back. We're back. So where were we? What were we talking about? Do you remember, Jamie?
Yeah.
Something about the world falling apart?
Well, guess what?
AI.
If we go to
Project Sycamore? Dubai?
Oh, yeah, Dubai. Listen, if we go to Iran, because I was going to get rid of this joke at the 20-year-olds in the audience that we're bringing back the draft, and you're going for sure. And don't try to gay your way out. We're going. Iran, they want that Iran war so bad. And Trump has brought so many snakes to his bosom, again, like that Mike Waltz dipshit.
Why do you think they want to do that?
The Greater Israel Project, the thing Wesley Clark talked about back when they mapped out all the countries they wanted knocked out, Libya, Iraq. We've got all of them except Iran, I think. Syria, we got our Al-Qaeda guys in there, so great job, everyone.
Jesus Christ.
People from Syria, if you ever talk to them,
out of all the things that the government has fucked up, this regime change thing, they fucked it up more than anything. Like, has it ever worked out better for the people that lived there? Think about how many people died during... I know, I understand.
Yeah.
But I think about, like, trying to sell the same thing over and over and over again.
It's insulting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because every single time it's been a fucking disaster.
Even an idiot could put it like me.
Yeah.
When I remember the day where I was like, it was probably 2015, 16, I was like, are we still in Iraq? Like if I left the oven on.
And we're hearing the same thing, like weapons of mass destruction, they're this close. Oh,
by the way, everyone, if we do go to war, and if you're dumb enough to sign up to go to Iran, just, we can't beat Iran. We haven't won a war in 80 years. I don't know why everybody seems to forget that we don't win these wars. I mean, somebody wins. It ain't you. It ain't you fighting it. That's for goddamn sure. But all of them have so if we go to bomb Iran has hypersonic missiles that we do not have. So think of how much
They
money.
do?
Oh, yes.
How do you know what the military has?
Oh, we did a story on it, and I was like this. I'm like, are you shitting me? We don't have the best missiles? No. We were doing things like using
wait a minute. There's a
Ukraine as
lot of
missiles.
stuff that the United States always possesses that are top secret. Like, there's certain videos that they will not show, allegedly, of UFOs, because then it would reveal the kind of surveillance equipment that they have available and where the surveillance equipment is, including underwater stuff.
Well, the really good stuff, I doubt America has. It's the people in charge of America have, but not America. But these missiles, they can't stop them with like Iron Dome kind of shit. They can't.
They're too fast.
And so
they change direction.
Yeah, Russia has. It's not the same as like a NATO alliance, but they have signed a thing with China and Iran.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so the war with Russia that we're supposed to avoid by this Ukraine thing, that's, I guess Zelensky gave the minerals already to UK a long time ago, which is why Boris Johnson sabotaged the peace deal before, I'm guessing, among other crazy reasons. And so if we go bomb Iran, that might bring Russia into his world. Somebody wants World War III real bad.
Jesus Christ, you're freaking me out, Kurt. This is like the green room.
I believe in God, so I'm like, I can't wait to tell on everybody. Please kill me. I cannot wait to tell God on you. I can't wait. I'm not telling you I want God to believe me. I'm just saying.
How bizarre is it that you're kind of right? How bizarre is it that you're right that we're inching closer and closer towards World War III, and that's not what people are concerned about. They're concerned with putting a swastika on a Tesla.
It's because it's called mind control. I bring it up nonstop, actually, to the point of annoying, I would say. MK Monarch was the one in the 90s that probably most of these actors and all these figures that are like, why are there like hotter people in government all of a sudden?
I want to show you something. Jamie, put that thing I just sent you. These are the same people that are getting paid to go to the Tesla demonstrations.
Yeah. Well,
same people that get paid to go to the Tesla protests, they do human-dog obedience shows like this. These are the people. That
Matt Damon cross-dresser from the Nuclear Commission that was stealing luggage, he was one of these. I thought it was him, but they put a thing up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is a crazy conspiracy that I made up, but...
Okay.
You know how Disney, you were talking about Disney, they couldn't find the dwarves?
Right.
There's a story about Walt Disney. They wanted Pinocchio to be on a ballot, so he hired little people to be Pinocchios, and he just left some food and wine up there. And it got real hot, and I think they were stuck on the roof, so they just took off their hats, and they're these drunk dwarves yelling curses at kids at Disneyland. But you know how the employees have to keep their suit on at all times,
right.
And to the point of it's like some kind of Guantanamo torture.
Right.
So where did furries come from? I think that, and Disney's part of it. Now I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but
I like where you're going with this.
They're genetically engineering employees who like to be in a fursuit. It's almost erotic to them. They have the minds, even though they're smart, right? And they know math. They love products. Ooh, is this a new lightsaber for? I'm 40, but I'm excited as a child, and I love wearing the suit because that's how I come. And they genetically, like all the stuff they put in is making these employees for the theme parks. That's what furries are for. People that want to be in that hot, awful suit. I'm just making that up as a joke, but I mean,
you might be right. It might be like one of them MK Ultra things.
Well, Disneyland was 100% involved in that. There's no underneath Florida Disney because it's a swamp, but Disneyland, of course, they're patriots. Walt Disney's a patriot. If the intelligence agencies need to do something there, and we're doing a thing with kids, of course he's going to be involved in it. You know, he didn't create all that. It's like Bill Burr's joke about Steve Jobs. Like, you just yelled at a nerd to keep soldering to make the iPhone, but they act like, you know, this Ayn Rand bullshit where it's like a great industrialist came up with this. Like, did you just tell people what to do, dickhead? That's important. You need that, but
right.
You get all the credit. It's all on you. That seems weird, like a feudalism of some kind, doesn't it?
Well, you know, someone was pointing out all the different companies that were actually started by Nazis while people were freaking out about Tesla. And one of them that I didn't know, did you know that Audi used to make camps? Like Google,
were they reliable?
The Auto Union before Audi, the parent company, the original company Audi was Auto Union, and in 2014, I believe, it was revealed that they were making camps for the SS in World War II. Like, this is one of the ways they got started. And they made a fucking car for Hitler. They made a race car for Hitler.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ford did that.
Ford did it?
Yes.
What do you mean, made Hitler a car?
He made cars for the Nazis. Well, Rick Overton's dad in World War II, they had some car, they popped it open, it was American. He was like, oh, okay, this bullshit.
What? Hold on a second. We'll get to that in a second. Nazi SS divisions built 7 labor camps where more than 3,700 prisoners were put to work for auto union. So this was like for Audi. They had people working at factories in the eastern German cities of, say that word. How do you say that word?
Where?
Zwickau?
Zwickau?
No, it's below, Jamie. Right there. Zwickau. And Chemnitz. What were you pointing out? Historical investigation commissioned by the company found that thousands of concentration camp inmates had been forced to work for auto union, an automobile manufacturer founded in 1932 and a forerunner to the company of today's Audi AG. That's wild.
Bayer.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah, Bayer.
They were R.G. Farbin.
Right.
Remember the poisoning of Tylenol back in when I was a kid? Someone was putting cyanide in Tylenol.
Yeah.
That's why we have the caps.
Yeah.
Now we have those hard child caps, right? So the guy from Control History has a great video on it, and it might have been sabotage from IB Farbin, the makers of Bayer aspirin, because Tylenol was beating them. So an act of corporate sabotage on a corporate competitor was a theory he put forward that I think is very believable, considering it's a Nazi company.
There's so many psychopaths out there. I wouldn't put it past people to do something like that. That's a total.
Well, look at our foreign policy, and then you know. Look. Jimmy said, not me, but if they do it to other people, they're going to do it to you. That's why if you're laughing when they grab somebody who wrote an article about Gaza being deported, like, well, she's not from here, get her out. Stupid. You just got done watching the Democrats do this.
Right.
You just got done watching them. And now you're going to go, because you don't want to let go of the dream. But the most important thing, if you are MAGA, is to hold to your principles and make it much bigger than Trump himself. The whole mistake is to get hooked on the cult of personality.
Right.
And who do you like? I like them all. I bet they're nice. Who gives a shit who I like? What do they do? And I'm not seeing the results I should see. Not blaming any one person, but a lot of promises made, promises kept to not anyone here, but, Israel definitely. Whoever he promised Greenland to. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I think they're trying to make an example of kids to keep people from protesting.
Of course they are.
Okay. Of course. Obviously. I forgot what I was going to say.
They want to make an example, not to...
No, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going somewhere with it, but it's... one of the problems with this is people can't see this being used against them.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. And people only look at it like, oh, this is a hard, fast thing. Hamas is a terrorist group. This lady supported Hamas. But did she? Like, I want to know what she fucking said. Like,
they don't say.
Exactly what she said. There has to be a way to read it. Because...
They didn't put the charges out. So the first guy, Mahmoud...
This is what I was going to get to.
Oh.
There's a difference between someone that has an opinion and people that protest organically because they all agree on this opinion versus something that's organized and a lot of people are spending money on and they're organizing it and they're figuring out how to get people there on time and they're giving them food and they're giving them signs and they're giving them, like, the Musk ones, the Tesla ones. Have you seen the list? Have you seen the list that they gave them?
I assumed it was fake. I didn't believe it was organic at all.
What, the list?
The Tesla protest to me is like the Bernie and AOC concert. It's fake.
But someone who is there got a copy of, like, the talking points. And one of the things about the talking points is there was another one. I forget who put that one out, but there were rules of engagement of how, like, if you get in fights, do this, hit people to the body, don't pick up an object unless somebody else does. Like, this is all crazy.
We just did it at BLM.
Right. If you're organizing, like, it's essentially you're condoning a certain amount of violence, which opens the door to violence, which can't be controlled. If you're condoning that and you're paying people to go out and scream and protest for something they're not organically going to scream and protest for, like, that's a different thing than just protesting. When you're paying people to protest, you're basically paying someone to harass a business. You're paying them. They don't necessarily have those opinions. They're dumbass fucking dudes they're idiots. A lot of these guys get caught keying cars. They're fucking idiots. Exactly. But there's a chant sheet. This guy has several pages in his hands. I know, but it's like they give these out so that they can all have the things to sing together.
Your
Democrats draw us
swastikas.
fine. Now's the time to draw the line. So they have all these things set up in advance, which is the point. This is not a small thing, Jamie. This is kind of a big deal that someone would hand these out to people and print them,
but I'm just saying,
and pay them to be there.
That's the point. I looked up paying, and I didn't find any evidence of payments.
Well, people have said that they were offered money to go to these.
I looked all over the place.
I wouldn't need any more evidence than this ad copy, because if you've ever had ad copy for Sheath underwear, you go, you know, Sheath was unelected and can't fuck it. That's ad copy. You're not doing that for free.
Did you see the video of the people all leaving at noon? They left the protest exactly at noon.
No.
Yeah. Can
I
you
just
find
assumed
that,
it.
Jamie? But that was one of the things that people said. Well, this is evidence of a coordination. Like these people are being paid for a certain amount of time, and then they leave. But that's not illegal. That's what's crazy. What's really
That is crazy. You're right.
So you can hire someone to go fuck with your business, and it's not illegal. And they can say it's a protest, and you can give them signs.
The people, going back to everything, they're fake. The ones that are real, the government will come out and crush. So, for example, the guy who wrote "War Is a Racket," when the veterans,
Smedley Butler.
Yeah, when the veterans got crushed by what tanks. Tiananmen Square didn't do that, by the way. That's fake. That people think the guy got run over. He didn't. But we did that to veterans of American.
Well, it's not fake. He got pulled aside, but the images of him in front of the tank are real.
But I thought he got run over this whole until I realized it's like the Kyle Rittenhouse crossing state lines. I filled in the rest of the story in my head.
Right.
Oh, he must have brought a gun. No, you're just saying that. It's subconscious programming.
Right.
They study it. That's what a cult is. Is that it's like Bernays advertising techniques.
Right. But there's also people who are very afraid of being criticized and crossing the line where they become the enemy of their side, so that they comply. Holy shit, the moment the clock turns 12 p.m. in Texas, liberal activists left to protest.
You have to be paid to be a Democrat.
No, they're all just leaving it. No.
Swastika. I just want to point out.
I get messages like noting that there's going to be a protest at a certain time. Like right now, like in Texas at 5:30 at a certain time. Like watch out for traffic. There's going to be a protest downtown. People know that it's going to happen.
You could have a legit protest where you coordinate it. I'm not against that. But the thing where you have your talking points, like a think tank made it.
Someone should do a reality show where you just get professional protesters and ask them about their life, just like those people that believed in QAnon, like that were on HBO. Like those people like follow professional protesters around and get a beat on their life. I mean, professional protesters and professional like rally attendees.
Yeah, well, then you need a community organizer.
We'll be here with this lady saying.
Bullshit that Elon really runs things and not Trump. Like, are you all dumb that you would think this? First of all, they've been giving your money to not fake Nazis that drive a Tesla. Real Nazis in Ukraine from World War II have been supported by your dumb Democrat dipshit ass with everyone's money for how long now? People that had real swastikas and tattoos and embarrassingly...
Remember that one guy that went up to accept the award and had to have a sleeve on one of his arms?
John Stewart's friend.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear you talk about Nazis ever the fuck again after I watch Canada salute a war criminal Nazi from the Waffen-SS, and then watching... I know the ADL said it's okay that one group's not Nazis anymore, but I don't think the ADL is reliable. And I know that sounds really anti-Semitic, but I think they're not reliable. What are you talking about? We support the fuck out of... We went to the moon because of Nazis. We brought them to America to make our moon program. What are you assholes talking about? Audi's... All the companies are Nazi companies.
Volkswagen.
God damn it.
Everybody's like... They get you focused on some stupid shit. Do you think this autistic man... Do you know how easy it is to make that gesture, just gesturing? That's why there's videos of everybody else doing it.
Yeah.
It's the original pledge to the flag, by the way.
Your hand over.
Even have a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Like, I'm not a military
it used
motherfucker.
to be God before. Was it Truman or Eisenhower?
It used to be I will speak English.
Who removed the God part, or who put the God part in? It was during the 50s.
That's
right?
like at the end.
But wasn't it like it wasn't until like the 1950s.
Not until later. But the fight at first was look at him saying highly.
Yeah.
The fight at first was if you have to speak English because they had an immigration problem.
Look how crazy that is.
Yeah, there you go.
That's our Pledge of Allegiance.
This would be a good game show. Like, is this Nazi?
But they put God in because of the communist scare. That's when God got into the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
It used to be one nation under God, not under God, just one nation indivisible with liberty and justice
They
for all.
didn't say what
and then
God,
they
did
decided to put it under God.
Yeah. Jobulon.
When did they add that, Jamie? What year did they add that? That's a fascinating thing, because people are like, this country was founded by Christian founders.
No, it's founded by Freemasons, and they are Luciferians, which is not a Satanist. That's not a Satanist. A Satanist is like a Hot Topic thing. A Luciferian, Lucifer embodies the good and the bad. Like your leaders that you make excuses for, not you specifically, but, well, he has to kill those Yemenis. He has to. That's Luciferianism, where, Wolverine, Superman is a punk-ass Christian, I guess, the way he's a goody two-shoes, but like an anti-hero.
Right.
Hillary Clinton, she was an ambitious woman, had to do what she had to do. So yeah, some people are dead, and shut up, that's a conspiracy. That America loves Luciferianism, whether it's de facto. It don't matter whether you think you do. You're doing it. I don't call you a Christian unless you act like one. You know what I mean? Like, right. I would never call myself a Christian, but sometimes I will act Christian, but a lot of times I don't. So I'm not going to claim a thing that I'm not living up to. America's living up to a God. It ain't Bible God. I don't know who the hell people think it is, but how could you even go to the military and be a Christian and learn more, know more?
Because you want to protect America from the evil people.
Oh, like from what Jesus said.
Yeah.
Oh, like Jesus said, it's okay if it's to protect America.
Yeah, that's what Jesus said. That was the missing books.
If everybody stops lying, it's all you have to do. You don't have to kill nobody.
Well, listen,
just don't lie.
What's more demonic than a robot drone powered by AI that's coming over to fuck people up and makes a decision to kill a certain amount of civilians because it has to get this one bad person?
I'll tell you what, one that grew some organic brain tissue around the chip because they can't get that AI to be alive because it's not, and so they're growing brain tissue. You seen that?
No, but what I was going to get to was what's more demonic is a person doing it.
Yeah.
Instead of an AI that makes this calculation and coldly assesses that it's valuable to kill 30 civilians to get to this one Al-Qaeda guy, what is more demonic might be a person. Because one of the things that's fucked up about it is the people that are actually doing it are just following orders. So there's a person who can make a decision. So there's a person that can make a decision that you're going to launch Hellfire missiles into an apartment building. But the person who makes the decision isn't actually pressing the button. So he might feel a little bit removed from the crime. But the person who is forced to operate the drone, they say these guys have to study them for days sometimes. And they watch their patterns, they see them play with their kids, and then they get that green light. And then they get the order. It's time to do it. And then they have to fucking press a button and launch missiles and watch that guy get eliminated from thousands of miles away.
Well, you know how we know 90% innocent people got killed? I remember I was telling you that. Because the drone operators, it bothered them.
Yeah.
And the drone operator, I don't remember the guy's name, I feel bad, but that guy's in prison for revealing the truth about the criminals that run your government.
There's a guy in prison for revealing the truth about drone strikes?
We did 3 years ago, the guy's speech about, I watched people.
Find out who that
guy
is.
The drone operators that got put away under that act. Trump's abusing it now.
How's he abusing it now?
Love to abuse it.
How's he abusing it now for that?
That's what they're grabbing these people with no charges and kicking them out because they supported Hamas. That's under the not sedition, the Espionage Act. They're doing shit like that.
So talking about the drone bombings is an espionage thing? Is that what it is?
It's top secret.
Is that,
we killed all those people. We're worse than terrorists. We're worse. 90% civilians? That's not collateral. That's who you killed. The collateral will be if you hit a fucking terrorist.
Right.
That's real. That happened. Yeah. And a guy's in prison for telling us. That's Obama, the one that, the ones that Bill, I guess, thinks there's not Nazis. Even though, boy, you should kill like Nazis, don't they? Again, Bill's right about a lot of things, but that is just such like a, dude, you don't know what, just look, like.
There's a lot more to the story.
You're focusing on the sports
narrative. Yeah, there's a narrative that gets out there, and then people have opinions on the narrative, but it's so nuanced. The story behind it, like when people, there's a lot of people that want to talk about whatever the conflict is, whether it's Ukraine or Israel and Palestine. Like, if you want to become an expert on Israel and Palestine, you need a lot of fucking time, man. You need a lot of time.
What you could do?
A long history that you have to follow.
Daniel Hale, yes.
He's an American whistleblower, former National Security Agency's intelligence analyst who sent classified information about drone warfare to the press. Hale served the United States military, United States Air Force, 2009, 2013. Okay, pled guilty to retaining, transmitting national defense information, sentenced to 45 months in prison. Incarcerated, United States Penitentiary. He was released on July 5th, 2024, right after Independence Day. Yeah, bitch. Didn't even get a beer on 4th of July.
Meanwhile, they're not going to investigate Hawk Tua. I got to put this Trump shirt back on.
He's out there right now, this guy?
I don't know. I
wonder if he's allowed to do podcasts.
Well, the guy who ran
it... Are you allowed to do podcasts when you get out of jail?
Yeah, John Kiriakou does it.
Like a guy like that probably doesn't want to talk. I mean, that's what got him in jail in the first place.
Well,
right? If he talks about it now, isn't that the same thing? Isn't he doing it all over again?
Well, now that it's out, I think it don't matter, right?
I don't know, but this is the question. Like, if you get tried and you go to jail for something, and what you did was tell the truth about crimes, the last thing you want to do is talk more about those crimes, right? The last thing you want to do is talk more about those crimes, right? I would think.
Yeah, well, what's Julian Assange doing now? Is he talking?
I don't know. I mean, is he completely free? Like, what is his current
He owes
state?
money for them for transporting him. They charge him like $1 million. It's so despicable, dude. Look, I don't know. I know people want to believe and they're dumb, but why? Why do you believe it when you get... It's like if you're being cheated on and you're like, no, he would... Dottie Sandusky. That should be the national bird of America. Jerry Sandusky's wife, who thinks nothing happened to this day.
Does she really?
Yeah, she just Dottie stays upstairs, and Jerry helps those boys in the basement get freedom.
Jesus Christ,
that's America. And then people you tell the truth to. The thing that makes you crazy is not knowing the truth. It's when you tell people, and they either don't want to know it, or they go, "I just want to keep my head down and do my job," which friends of mine that are not dumb, smart people say. Right. Yeah, that's the American spirit. I want to keep my head down and do my job. I can't wait to Sig Heil the flag now. Oh, how inspiring. But it's changing. It's changing.
A lot of people think like that once they have a mortgage and kids. They really do. They think, I just don't want to rock the boat.
I understand that.
I'm barely staying above water right now as it is.
What if you're rich? You want your kids to see that you're not going to knuckle under.
Let me tell you something. What happens to rich people? They get scared they're not going to be rich anymore.
Yeah,
and they want to keep the party rolling.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm serious. That's what happens. You feel that fear. There's this fear. It's the same thing that always pops up. It's famine mentality. It's the same reason why people want all the attention. People want, they want everything. They want to be number one. It's the same thing. It's famine.
Well, those buttons you're talking about. You think they didn't study these extensively to figure out exactly which ones to press to get what reaction? Hey, we need people to pretend that Tesla, he was unelected. You don't elect the guy that does that, dipshits, unelected. Is that a good point? Right. You get appointed. Just like how Kamala was unelected?
Well, they did it during the Obama administration. They did it during the Clinton administration. Like, government efficiency programs are not new. It's not a new thing. And the thing is, I understand that he's polarizing because of a lot of things, unfortunately, that he did. There's there's a lot about what he's uncovering that's important for you to know that your money's being wasted. And that's not a partisan thing, and it shouldn't be.
And you should know that the savings are not going to, if you're worried.
But you should also know that this fucking protest against him is probably funded. It's too organized. It's too often. It's too regular. There's people that are involved. There are chants that they hand out. Someone's paying money for this stuff. Whether they're paying those people or not, I think they are. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
The soda people, right?
The point is, it's organized. It's not natural.
We just saw them. This is amazing. We did a story. I sent it to you because the soda, I don't know, Ameribev or whatever it's called.
Right.
So they got MAGA people, and I've seen these people apologizing up and down, a bunch of them, because they got, maybe they did it willingly or not. I mean, willingly, but duped or not, they were like, it's an embarrassment because, like I said, to the credit of MAGA people, not that I don't vote. I would have if Trump did anything that I thought he would. They go, oh, they're trying to control how people use their SNAP, like their welfare, to buy soda. They're like, don't say they can't buy soda because RFK, soda's poison.
American Heart Association fought it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's adorable. American Heart Association fought poison.
Have some heart.
Come on.
So, but do you remember when these same stupid fucking conservatives were mad that they were spending their welfare on lobster? Remember that? They're buying lobster with welfare.
What are you talking about?
You never heard of this?
No.
This well, Reagan did it first with the welfare fat queen that gets in her Cadillac and buys lobster with your welfare.
What? Really?
Oh, he was the best, that guy. Then, the greatest president. And then after that, I would hear this come up. This a few years ago. There's something about wealth. It's always like, oh yeah, that's where we're losing all our money on the welfare. We are not for this country though. Just so you know.
Well, the idea, I think, of the SNAP thing is to encourage lobster and
But now-
steak. Food stamp myth refuses
So do you know why
to
they're doing
die.
it? So-
1976 campaign speech. In Chicago, they found a woman who holds the record, he told the assembled crowd. She used 80 names, 30 addresses, 15 telephone numbers to collect food stamps, Social Security, veterans benefits for 4 non-existent deceased veteran husbands, as well as welfare. Her tax-free income alone has been running $150,000 a year. Sounds like this lady's pretty cool. Reagan's
Sounds
story
like
turned
Doge.
out to be a gross exaggeration of a minor case of welfare fraud. Well, I don't know who to believe, because I want to believe that she pulled this off, because I think it's kind of badass. If you're going to duck the welfare system, doing it with 80 different people is kind of fucking hilarious in 1976. 150K in 1976. What do you think that is today, in today's money?
He combined her with a CIA op, I'm sure.
How much is that in today's money, Jamie? Let's guess. $150,000. I say that's $2.7 million.
I think you're right. And I think I could put on a transgender play in Guatemala with that money.
Gives you fun Sesame Street.
But so that's the
Can you
conservative.
find out what that is?
140K.
That's
Well-
it? Oh, I thought it'd be millions.
So
So we've been lied to about inflation.
wait, so the soda people.
It's only worth $853, but that's if you just left it in the bank, I guess.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of crazy.
Wait, so the soda people, so they're mad that welfare people are getting things. Now, this fake thing that they try to